Welcome to Spotlight Television. I'm your host, Tom Hegna. I'm really excited about our guest today, Jonathan Mason. I've known Jonathan for several years now. He's a financial guru down in Orlando. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me here. Thank you so much.
Now, you're a busy guy, but tell us how this all started. Tell us a little bit about your career.
I was born and bred to be a financial specialist because out of college, I was actually a breakdancer. So that part was really, we talked about it. Played soccer in school, had a couple knee surgeries, got out of school and didn't know what I wanted to do because the market's changing. We'll talk about that. But got back into entertainment, doing weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate events, Sweet 16. We go downtown tonight. We're gonna have a good time. So I found myself in the entertainment world, and then 2008, 2009 happened with the markets and everything crashing. One thing that I realized, even after going to school and getting a degree, I knew nothing about money, nothing about finance, taxes, nothing. And my parents took a bad hit financially. My uncle lost a lot of money in his 401k. My grandfather lost half his money in portfolio. And I realized, number one, I couldn't help. Number two, I didn't even know what was going on. I couldn't even have a conversation with somebody about what was going on. And I realized I needed to learn this stuff for my life.
Well, there's so many options. If somebody is wants to get in the insurance industry, why would they want to go to you?
So one, our platform, I have multiple companies to work with. So I can work with the MetLife, the Fidelity, Allianz, AIG, National Life Group, American National, North American, Lincoln Financial Group, and I go, everyone. There's no quota, there's no minimum. And it makes it so easy to sit down with you is what are your needs, what are your goals, let's find the best option for you, not my only option. And on top of that, we design a custom plan that is for you, where other companies, well, here's what I have. And it becomes very cookie cutter. So we take more of a consulting approach, more of a specific approach, and everyone's got different needs between when their ages, their kids, are the kids grown up, are they older? I asked a couple the other day, I said, do you have kids? They said, yeah, but they're grown. I said, are they still your kids? They're grown, okay, they're grown kids, but they're still your kids. That means you need different kind of planning, whether it's legacy planning, long-term care strategy, because if you don't take care of yourself now, the kids are. And the worst thing that a parent can do is be a financial burden to a family. A lot of platforms are not teaching the full package. We look at the full picture, not just a screenshot.
The majority of people out there have a 401k. And there's some people who just say how great the 401k is. I think you and I say, okay, there's a place for it, but why do we want to defer our taxes if we know taxes are heading up? It made sense when taxes were coming down. You take it here, you get a deduction, and then you get it grow tax deferred, and then you take it out, the taxes are lower. Well, we know taxes are going to have to be higher. It's a math problem. So tell me about your thoughts on the 401k versus other alternatives out there.
Well, first we have to take care of the myths. What a 401k is, what it is not. Number one, a 401k is not a race, and so it's not a marathon on a holiday, okay? A 401k does not mean you're going to have $400 to $1,000 sitting in a retirement account. So a 401k is a tax code. And if you go to the history of it, so Tom, let me sell you on this. Let me sell you on this program. Back in the day, there were these things called, pensions, right? The real name was defined benefit plans. That's where the saying goes, get the job, get the benefits. Very expensive to run though. Not very cost effective. And with the baby boomers retiring, there's too many people retiring, which means there's too much money going out, not enough money coming in, which is the same issue with Social Security. So these companies in the 70s, when taxes were at a high, they said, we have to come up with this whole strategy of, we got to pay less, Tom. We got to pay less tax. We're making too much money. I got an idea. We're going to do something for us, and we're going to sell it to the public. Watch this. We're going to call it a defined contribution plan. Ooh, that sounds good. That word, just sexy, contribution plan. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to offer these accounts to our employees, and we're going to put their money into stocks and mutual funds. Charge them all these fees they have no idea about. We don't even know who's watching the account. We're just going to call these, contribution plans. We're going to put some of our money into their account for them to contribute. We write it off our books. So we pay less in tax. They just defer it. So we pay less. They take all the risk. There's no more guaranteed income, no more predictability. They take all the risk and the fees, and we just shifted the risk from us to them. That's called your 401k plan. So a 401k is actually a salary reduction plan for highly paid executives, not even a pension replacement. So it's my retirement. Does your 401k protect you from losses? No. Does it give you long-term care? No. Does it guarantee an income? No. How's that retirement? And have you ever asked why is it the only thing they push? So it's not in the employee's best interest, it's in the employer's best interest. That's why most people that are wealthy or affluent have one-on-one private consultants where they can design things for you that meet your specific needs, not the cookie cutter stuff. And that's one thing that we specialize in is specific needs. So go into alternatives. The number one cause of bankruptcy right now is healthcare issues, mainly long-term care. And I think the last number, Tom, please correct me if I'm wrong, there's a 72% chance of you having some kind of long-term care need. Is that correct? Is that accurate? And the ages are different. So once you are 0 to 64, I think it's 40% chance. And then once you're at 65, 72% chance. And 64% of bankruptcies are from long-term care. And the biggest misconception is health insurance is covering long-term care. It does not. You're going to be coming out of pocket dollar for dollar versus leveraging it. So if I have my 401k, how do I make sure that my long-term care is covered? When I talk to clients about planning, going back to answer your question, there's 4 quadrants I think people should have money in. Cash, stock, real estate, and insurances. Cash is liquid, it's safe, it's awesome. Stock is all of equities, including even cryptocurrencies we'll talk about. Real estate is real estate. But the only sector of money and finance that's never lost in a depression, recession, or pandemic is the insurance sector, and the insurance's job is to protect the entire portfolio. So you talk about other alternatives. Well, what is the purpose of saving for retirement? It's to make money and never lose it. It's to lower or control my taxes and then cover my long-term care, because the biggest fear I think today, for boomers specifically, are people are afraid of outliving their money and not having enough. So we need solutions that can make sure they never outlive the money, don't lose money, pay less in taxes, and cover health care. And the scariest thing, I'm a little biased, but the best product to actually do that are insurance products. But people don't talk about it a lot. So I do think that life insurance, properly structured, not all life insurance, properly structured life insurance, as well as properly structured annuities, can solve a lot of their problems, and it's a great alternative to a 401k option.
Look, you work with a lot of successful people. You've seen people who haven't been successful. Is there like a secret ingredient for success?
Sure. I'll give you 4. I'll give you 4. I said 3 earlier. The first one is the meetings you attend. Because you have to be, that's the mastermind alliance. You have to be around the right people. This is a meeting. And we had a conversation over coffee before, like this is a meeting. And I think a lot of people don't value being in groups that can challenge them, which is again, wisdom versus smart. Let your ego drop for a second and take some guidance and be humble about it, because a truly humble person can never be embarrassed. So if you're embarrassed by asking a question, then you got some work to do. So I think number 1 is the meetings you attend. 2 are the books you're reading. If you're not reading, you're not developing, even if it's audiobook. I think personal development is a major, major impact that is needed in today's society. Even in our company, all of our agents are required to read. We have a book of the month club because we want you to become the next best version of you. And one thing about studying, what I suggest to all my guys is take a topic for 90 days and just read that. So if you want to get better at sales, just read sales. You want to get better at relationships, just read that. You want to get better at overcoming objections, just read that. You want to get better at how to fly a plane, like you want to drive a car better. Whatever it is, read whatever topic that interests you, study that for 90 days, and move on to the next one and next one. So the meetings you attend, the books you read, and then it's your associations. Oh boy, does that matter? Because if you have that person in your ear, if they don't have what you want, why do you listen to them? It doesn't matter if we were friends in high school. If you no longer are adding value to my life, I love you as a person, but you're not adding value, we can't talk as much. We can't do this anymore. You can't be afraid to let people go if they're not adding to your life. And then the last one is a phrase called go again. You go again. Another way of saying you don't quit. I'm in downtown Orlando. I'm at this cigar lounge called Coronas. And there's a guy next to me, and he used to run one of the biggest gangs in Jacksonville back in the day. Got out, changed his life around, completely changed his life around. He's a multimillionaire now, does different stuff, a lot of stuff in real estate investments. And I said, let me ask you a question. This was maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I was down the dumps. I was going through a tough time in my life. And I said, bro, what advice would you give a guy like me? I see what's going on. You know, you recreated yourself. What got you through all this stuff? He says, bro, you go again. What do you mean go again? He says, you go again. He starts telling me about how he grew up in the streets. He says, what other choice do you have? You go again. You mess up, you go again. It doesn't work out, you go again. This happens, you go again. Go. And I said, dang, 2 words can change your life completely. You go again. If it doesn't work out, Tom, go again. We mess up, go again. You lose a client, go again. Recruit quits, go again. You just don't stop. And I think that's the part, that's the resiliency, the tenacity, the persistency that some people are missing. If you have that go again mentality, game over.
Jonathan, I can tell by what you've been talking about that ethics really plays a strong role, that you want to always do the best thing for your clients. Why are ethics so important? I talked about it in another session as well, but why is it so important?
Ethics is important across the board no matter what you do in life. When you tell the truth, there's nothing to remember. I got into this business because my own family got taken advantage of. And I'm not going to name company names, but it's a very, very big company. But I'm not going to let one advisor slander an entire corporation, because that's probably the advisor's fault, okay, if being fair. I find out that my grandfather was losing money. I found that my uncle was losing money. I found that my family was losing money, and it should have been looked after. And the challenge is, and with all transparency, we make a lot of money in our industry. If you Googled right now, what industry has created the most millionaires, financial services comes up. We're number 1 over everything. We do make a lot of money, but there's some things that we don't need to always get overcompensated for. We should be compensated for the work that we're doing, number 1. Number 2, there's people specifically in the insurance sector that are the one-trick ponies, that are pushing one thing, one company, one brand down people's throats because it pays fast. Old school insurance is proper planning. How much coverage do you need? Every $1 million of every $50,000 of income should be $1 million of term because of interest rates and long-term care coverage. You have to plan properly. A lot of these guys are doing $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of final expense. What the hell is that doing for a family? You're not changing a legacy. You're not creating a trust for the family. You're not doing nothing. What you did do was just make a fast paycheck. And I think the challenges with the advancements in technology in the industry, in financial services in general, is that people are losing sight of treating every client as if they're family versus what pays my bills today. So there's this commission breath, there's this desperation, I got to make money now, or this form of recognition, they're recognition driven. My own family got taken advantage of, and I swore that never happened again. If I'm going to be a fiduciary acting in people's best interest, I better sit down with them, find out what their needs are and their goals are, and I better have a platform to give them the best options, and I better have access to it. And if I don't have access, I better refer it out properly.
We've covered a lot of information. I think there's some people out there who say, I like that Jonathan guy. How do I get a hold of him? How can somebody get a hold of you, either as somebody who wants to get in the business or a client that needs some help? How can they get a hold of you?
I know they're going to post it here, but obviously, number 1, you go to my Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram stuff. It's at JON Mason Money, JONMASON Money. You go to my website, johnmasonmoney.com. You can go to my LinkedIn. You can go to my Facebook, Jonathan Mason. I'm very well, easy to find. My YouTube is John Mason Money again. Very easy to find. And again, I'm doing more and more stuff this year. I'll be speaking in a few more spots, so I'm looking forward to it.
So Jonathan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Tom. Appreciate it.
And thanks to all of you for watching another edition of Spotlight Television.